Great to have you, and we are very excited to have you coming to Ghana in a few weeks. So I just wanted to ask you, so have you been to Ghana before? It's just, hello?
Yeah, I've been to Ghana. I've been to Ghana 3 times already. Yeah.
Oh, okay. For NFL related stuff, or that just for holiday, just to enjoy our beautiful country.
Uh, there's no doubt it is a beautiful country. Very, very proud of what you guys are doing down there. But I came for NFL related stuff the times I did come.
Okay. So I understand that the NFL Africa Touchdown is like the launch pad event for the NFL in Africa. So I wanted
Yep.
to know, how important do you think it is for the NFL to expand to other continents and especially Africa?
Extremely important. It's the most important market, I believe, for the NFL in the coming years. Maybe not right now, but in the coming years. If you look at the amount of players that are playing American football, not only in America, but all over the world, a lot of them are of African descent, either born in Africa or first generation African players. So there's something about the game that we are particularly very, very good at. If you look at our physical makeup, our intelligence, just the way we are as African people, it translates a lot easier to the NFL than it does to other sports. So for me, I think if people are actually trying to have the opportunity to better themselves, whether that's to get an education, which America provides, or make it to the NFL, American football is a sport that I think that people should be pursuing.
Okay, I'm glad you even brought that up because I was even thinking about even other American sports like the NBA. That's where I
Mm,
watch more of like someone like Bam Adebayo. You hear these
yeah.
Nigerian names, Ghanaian names of these players coming out. And do you feel like the future of these leagues is with dependent on getting this African talent? Because even if you look at the NBA MVP race, you see Joel Embiid and Giannis Antetokounmpo doing so well. So do
Hmm.
you feel like African players are the future of these football leagues, and what can African players specifically bring to these leagues?
I think African players are the future of the NFL for sure. That I do know. I think when you look at basketball, when you look at soccer, these are games that are played all over the world, right? And people have the talent and the ability to play all over the world. But I think that American football specifically, I think this is something that we will come to dominate. If you look at, like I said before, there's over 100 players in the NFL right now, either born in Africa or of African descent. Now, why would that be is a question that we should be asking ourselves. It's not like the NFL had made a bunch of inroads into Africa before this one. So why would there be so many players, of African descent or African players in the NFL? And it's because we have a propensity to be good at this game. And I think we have the talent, we have the ability, we have the hunger, we have the drive. And so I think the future of the NFL for sure is going to be in Africa.
Okay, and yes, I think I agree with you on that because we are seeing that. But my question is, how can the NFL get the talent you have in Africa to come to the NFL in the sense that
Yep.
you say that you feel like African players are the next generation of the NFL. How would the NFL kind of be able to tap into the talents in Africa? Because, like, the sport is not as big here. So, how would
Yep.
that, how will you be able to make it big in Africa?
Very, very easy. I think the one advantage that American football has over pretty much any other sport is you don't have to stop playing the game at a very young age. You could start playing very late and become very, very successful. I never even heard of American football till I was 15 years old. That was my first time hearing about it. We've had players who we took literally from the streets of Nigeria one year, and the next year they're playing in the NFL. We had 3 players who did that from my camp last year. So as long as you have the prerequisite size and you have the physical ability, you can learn the skills to play at the highest level very, very easily. So all we have to do now is host camps, host tryouts to find the very best athletes. And then once we find the athletes, we now need to find like an academy. We need to build academies all across Africa that can give people the base understanding of the sport. Teach them little techniques, teach them little trainings here and there, get them even bigger, stronger, and then we can send them over to America. It's really not that difficult to do. Once you have the athletic ability and the size, you can actually translate very, very easily. Now, when you're playing soccer or basketball, you have to have been playing for a very long time, right? There's no guy who's going to turn up at 21 years old and at 22 he's in the Premier League. He's playing for Chelsea. It's an impossibility. You understand what I mean? But in American football, it's very, very possible. It's happened over and over and over again. So this is where our advantage is. All we have to do is give them the base understanding of it, and they can translate very easily.
So this is a question. This is a broader question. How long do you think, and do you think it would be possible for the NFL to replace a sport like football? Let me say the NFL to refer to the sport, because our people are not as understanding when you say football in that sense. Do you think it's possible for the NFL to kind of take over the space of football in the world?
No, I'm not going to say that that's possible, because American football is not the easiest game to play. Now, I think flag football is something that can actually take over, because that's easy. All you need is just a ball and some flags, and you can go out there and you can play with your friends and you can do all of that type of stuff. But, soccer, in Nigeria, what felele is. It's like the little rubber ball. Have you seen those balls? Yeah. So in Nigeria, that's what I was playing with. You just go outside, you're barefoot, you're kicking the ball. You play with anything. It's a very, very easy sport to play. Whereas American football, to organize it and to get like the full team going, it's not that easy. So I think it'd be harder for it to take over in a place like Africa. But I think flag football for sure can take over. And on top of that, I believe that Africans in general, they should be paying more attention to American football than to any other sport, because quite frankly, you have more players playing at the top level in the NFL than you do in any other sport. So I think we need to start shifting our focus there to see what our brothers are doing.
So my last question is just on the NFL in general. It's more about, where do you think the NFL will go in the next 10 years in Africa? You are launching, let's say, at the end of the month. So in 10 years, let's say we have this conversation, June 2032, where do you expect the NFL to be, and where are you hoping the NFL will be in Africa?
I'm hoping that at least 20% of the players in the NFL would be from the African continent. I'm hoping for that. I'm hoping for there to be academies in at least 4 or 5 different countries in Africa: Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, maybe Rwanda. Shout out to Rwanda for what they're doing. And so I'm hoping that on top of that, there will be just a whole infrastructure around the game. And I'm hoping for also maybe a preseason game or an all-star game played in Africa. I believe this is very, very possible. I believe with the amount of players that we have in the league, I mean, it's something that should be looked at. I think the only thing stopping us would be where has the infrastructure to host something like that. But in the next 10 years, on the trajectory that I see a lot of countries going in, I don't see why that would be a problem. So that's what I see for Africa and the NFL in the next 10 years.
And I want to ask you this question. This is more about the events that you are going to do on the 26th of June. You are a 2-time Super Bowl champion. What kind of impact do you think bringing the Super Bowl trophy and that kind of stuff to Ghana for fans to see? What do you think that would be like, as someone who's held it multiple times? Like, do you think that seeing that would like be a shock boost and kind of build up the fandom of the NFL in Ghana? Is the trophy really that impressive?
It is. It's massive. And then when you're speaking of, the Super Bowl trophy, they say you're the world champion. Obviously, the game is played primarily in America, right? But, the team that wins that, there's no team on earth that can actually beat that team, because the game is played primarily in America, right? So you can say that they're world champions. So this is the NFL. The NFL is the biggest sport in America. It's the richest sports league in America. It's bigger than all the NBA, MLB. It's bigger than all of them combined, right? And the Super Bowl trophy is the pinnacle of, it's the top of the top. So you bring the Super Bowl trophy to anywhere, and everybody should understand that this is the richest sports league in America, and this is the ultimate prize in that sport. So it's a really big deal, and I'm happy we're bringing it along with us.
And I'm seeing that you're going to have like the agility test. So that's kind of like what you guys do at the draft combine, right?
Yeah, correct.
So
correct.
Is it the case that you're still in shape and I won't be able to beat you? I should start practicing and see whether I can you. Should I be telling people that try and get in shape? You can, be better than a former NFL player. Or there's no hope.
There's no hope, man. It's going to be very tough. Very, very tough. No, I'm kidding. Of course, there's hope. I'm old. I'm like 40. Like, if I come out there and I try to run, I'll probably tear my hamstring. But I have some young boys. I got some young boys who are coming with us. And, it would be good for you to challenge them. But me, I'm definitely too old.
And the last one is, they said there's a Madden game. Are you a Madden player yourself? Are you much of a video game person, or you don't do much of the video games and that kind of stuff?
No, I play video games. I grew up most of the time playing Madden, and I was very, very good at Madden up until I think it was maybe 2002 when the game became very, very complicated for me. It used to be very easy. I just sit back and I just throw it up, but they started adding all these new features, and it got very complicated. So I really stopped playing Madden. I started to focus more on FIFA. And I'm very good at FIFA.
Okay. So have you been playing against Ocho Cinco? He's always doing the challenges on Twitter.
Ocho Cinco, all he does is talk. He doesn't want no part of me, man. I asked him, I told him, I messaged him. I was like, listen, let's get it on. I didn't hear anything from him, but I played a couple of NFL players that they were nothing for me. So, yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for your time. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And we'll put the videos on YouTube and that kind of stuff, and we'll send you the links. And thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor, and all the best for the rest of the day. And see you on the 26th. Hopefully, I'll be the one assigned to the event, and I'll see you there.
That'll be excellent, man. It'll be good to see you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.